All right, welcome back to a very mellow episode of the Basement Bird Show. Logan and Reed. I don't know. I wasn't feeling a lot of energy on this one. It's been a long day for me. I don't know.
Yeah,
How you doing today, Reed?
pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Nothing too crazy. Glad that I don't know about you guys, but our heat that we've had here is finally starting to break a little bit.
Dude, it has been so hot. I've
Yeah.
actually I've been thinking about what it'd be like to be a gingerbread man in the oven, and
Mm.
I have a pretty good feeling now just going outside. It's been
Yeah.
90,
Yep.
95 degrees every
Yep.
single day. I have heat rash. I've never gotten a heat rash before, so that's just
Oh
from being
gosh.
outside. I'm going to talk about this in a minute, but we were on vacation, and yeah, we were going to the beach, and
Hmm.
I was at another part of what we're going to talk about today. I was at the Cubs game last weekend,
Yeah.
or last Friday, and got sunburned on my legs and knees,
Oh
and then it was
gosh.
just like I got then heat rash where the sunburn was. It's not a good
Yeah.
ordeal. It's been
Yeah. Well,
way too hot
it's been
for
so warm.
Logan.
Yesterday we were up in the upper 90s and the real field was over 100, and I still played nine
Ooh,
holes of golf in it.
yeah, that is idiotic. I'm sorry to
But you
tell
know
you
what though? You know
that.
what though? It wasn't bad because there was a breeze that got better when you were driving around, and I drank plenty of water, and it was a 5 o'clock tea time, so the sun was starting to set
Oh,
slowly.
okay. Well, that's
So
not
it could have
bad
been
at
a lot
all.
worse. It actually wasn't. It actually like we were in shade, and I'm like, this feels great. Like this doesn't feel bad at all. You know.
Yeah.
So that was good. It was actually a lot better than you would expect. So that was good.
Yeah,
If
we
only I played as surprisingly as good as I felt, but I did not, unfortunately. But
yeah,
oh well.
well,
Such is
that's
life.
kind of
Such is
always how
golf.
it goes, right? With golf.
Hmm.
But yeah, so last Friday, as I just mentioned, I went to the Cubs game for the first time in a long time, and that was an experience. I don't know.
When was the last time you think you were at a Cubs game?
Well, I threw out the first pitch in 2013. That was the kickstart of the Cubs World Series run. Thank you. That was the last game of the 2013 regular season. It was against the Pirates, and the Cubs got smoked. And then I went
That's
one
tough getting
time
smoked by the
since
Pirates.
then. I
Okay.
went one time since then. Uh, I think it was before they won the World Series in 2016. So that
Okay.
has to be maybe 2015 ish.
Okay. I see.
And we sat in the bleachers, which I don't know what you know about the bleachers at Wrigley, but like
Yeah.
Wrigley's set up kind of really weird where the bleachers aren't connected to the rest of the stadium.
Yeah, you were telling me about this. I didn't realize this until you brought it up. Yeah, because
So
it
you
looks like a ballpark that you could walk all the way around.
correct, but you cannot. There's a separate entrance for the bleachers. The bums, they call them the bleacher bums
Yeah.
in the outfield, and there's no assigned seating in the outfield too. So
Yeah.
you kind of just free willy it down into wherever you can find a seat.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm on Google Maps, and you can kind of see the disconnect. Yeah. You can very
Yeah.
clearly see a wall. You can see the stairs that you go up to get into the bleachers, and they
Hmm.
very much do not. Yeah, they are very much disconnected. Interesting. It looks like it should be connected.
It feels like it should be, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I think they're just trying to avoid people paying for bleacher seats and then going and sitting
That could
in
be.
the actual seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if it has to do with the part of the how the stadium was constructed as well.
It's an old stadium. I think it's the second oldest stadium in baseball,
I believe it is. Yeah, behind
behind
Fenway.
Fenway.
Yeah, look at that.
And
Look at you knowing baseball.
well, I just know Wrigley because I'm a Cubs fan. So I actually didn't sit in the stadium at all for the game.
Yeah, this is the
We
wildest
sat
part.
we sat on the rooftops. Now I don't know if this is like a MLB wide thing where like a lot of ballparks have this, or if this is like
The
just
rooftops?
specific to Wrigley. Yeah,
No, that is specific to Chicago.
yeah. So at Wrigley
Yeah.
Field, they have several what used to be apartment buildings across the street from the outfield, where they have stadium style seating on top of the building, and you pay for a ticket and you get a ticket and then you go up there and you watch the game from across the street, and
Yeah.
they have some sort of deal worked out with Wrigley and with the Cubs they have, I believe, a direct feed from the game. They're not,
Okay.
they're not like disconnected. So because there's
Hmm.
no commercials that play, and so they're getting some sort of feed from the game, which is interesting on all their TVs. Because
Yeah.
my buddy that I was with was like, "Oh, this is so delayed." I'm like, first of all, it's not that delayed. Like
Yeah.
you hear the crowd roar, and then you see the ball fly. It's like a couple seconds. So if this was on
Yeah.
TV, this would be a much bigger delay.
Sure. Sure.
And it's really interesting though because it's all you can eat and all you can drink for free. It's a
Interesting.
weird experience. So
Was this
you
at
go
just
and
the rooftop you were at?
this is I believe at all of the rooftops are like this where
Okay.
you pay for a ticket to get in. There's stadium style seating upstairs, and then like to get out of the sun because obviously you're in full sun up there, and that was like the first day when it was like 95 degrees out.
Yeah.
You go to like the second to top level, and
Okay.
they have like a little like a station. It almost is like a Subway where you can get like hot dogs, burgers, anything you want, and you just tell them I want 3 hot dogs, and they'll give you
Interesting.
3 hot dogs on a plate. Here you go. You don't have to pay. Don't have to anything. Same thing for drinks. You can go up as many times as you want, get a drink and drink it, and go up for another one. And then they've got a cooler. They had like a ice chest, like where you buy an ice cream sandwich. Where it has the 2 glass doors on the top where you slide it. And
Okay, I
they
gotcha.
had
Yeah.
Bomb Pops and Snickers ice cream in there where you could
Ooh.
just open it up, take it, eat it. So I had
Yeah.
a couple of those. Had a couple of hot dogs. It was a very pleasant experience.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised by how enjoyable it was because
That's good.
I was worried about not being in the stadium because
Yeah, it's a very non-traditional thing.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it's really unlike any other ballpark to have this because the bleachers in the outfield are very low, all things considered.
right,
And
so
it helped that for the longest time Wrigley didn't have a digital scoreboard in the outfield.
yes, and that
You
was
know?
a major point of contention between the rooftops and Wrigley Field when they decided
Yeah.
they're going to put a video board up
And just
The
a lot
one-
of
the
Cubs diehards as well.
well,
know,
right.
Apart
I mean,
from
but
the rooftop owners, but some of the Cubs diehards as well were like, "Oh, you can't ruin Wrigley Field by putting up a video board."
yeah, that's idiotic. But they put the board right in front of one of like the buildings. So like
Yeah.
the building to the left of us was directly behind the scoreboard, so you
Oh yeah, I
couldn't
think I see that
anything.
now. Yeah.
And they still
they
had
still
the
sell
stadium
seats there?
seats up there. No, and so
Okay.
but maybe they sell it for concerts and stuff because they put the stage in the outfield for concerts.
Sure.
So
Okay.
maybe they still do it for concerts. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they sold it for the Winter Classic that was there.
That
Because
could
that's
be.
in the outfield because they might be able to see around the scoreboard to the outfield. I don't know. But it was very interesting that it looks like they haven't touched anything on that building.
Yeah.
So the seats were kind of faded.
Yeah, this is really interesting. I'm reading up about the rooftops. There's 16 buildings that have rooftop seats on them,
Yeah.
and it wasn't until the 80s when you started to see buildings with more formal structures.
What do you mean?
And you had tickets being bought, and things like that.
Yeah.
This is really interesting.
It's a very interesting concept, and it's actually, again, really well done for, motivating people to buy the tickets. We went as a group. The tickets were gotten through my dad's work, so we ended up taking like a coach bus down there, where it was like I felt like an athlete almost, where I was like, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was like a nice bus with a bathroom on it and stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
which was really cool. And so then we had to park kind of far away, but there's designated bus parking for Wrigley Field, so that was
Interesting.
interesting. It's on the road. It's next to a cemetery, so that's
Oh.
interesting.
Yeah.
But it was about a 10-minute walk from where the
Oh,
bus
that's not
parked
bad.
to the rooftop.
not bad.
And it was a good time.
That's good.
I would highly recommend anybody, even if you're not into baseball, I mean, when you're at the baseball game,
Yeah.
and you may not feel like this when you're working a game, but it goes much faster than you think it does because all of a sudden you're like,
I know how quickly it goes when working them because you want them to go fast.
well, well, right, but we're like halfway through the fourth inning already. I'm like, I
Yeah.
feel like I just sat down,
The pitch clock does help with that. Yeah.
So
What game was that you went to?
we went on Friday against Seattle. They lost on a double play in the bottom of the ninth. So
That'll check out. Yep.
we got to witness
Seattle
one of the
on Friday. You said.
yeah.
Were you
It
there
was
in
an
time for the
afternoon
Cubs
game.
blue alternate giveaway jersey?
We didn't go in the stadium. Remember?
That's right. So you aren't qualified for the giveaway. Yeah.
Correct.
Look at this.
Correct.
Mariners scored
And so that
3
would
in the
make
ninth
sense.
to really seal it.
That would make sense because we saw a lot of jerseys like with just the number on them and no name.
Oh,
and so I thought,
yeah.
and we I think someone even made a comment like a lot of people have those jerseys on,
Yeah.
because they wore their City Connect blue throwback jerseys, which were very cool, by the way.
Yeah. Those things technically aren't a City Connect. They're just an alternate if I'm going to get specific, but.
Well, then I have to blame my friend Tyler, who was telling me they were City Connect jerseys.
Pretty sure the Cubs still have their those navy blue Wrigleyville City Connect ones, or they may have
They do
retired
not.
those. Honestly,
They
did
do
they retire
not.
those? Are they getting a new one this year?
I
They may be
believe
getting a new
the
one this
City
year.
Connect is the blue one. Is that not? Are you
No,
looking
that's
at
just an
something that's
alternate.
not saying that? Oh, it's
No,
just
that's
an
just an
alternate.
alternate. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're getting a new City Connect this year because there are teams that are now recycling City Connects. Yeah, I think these are considered just an alternate uniform.
I see. Okay.
It replaced the City Connect, but it's not part of the City Connect program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Why there was some confusion there.
Let me see if I can find any information if they're getting a new City Connect one because I think they were in the first batch of City Connects.
Yes. So, I mean, they were cool.
Oh, there are no rumors about the Cubs getting a new one.
Oh,
So this is like a pseudo City Connect.
yeah. So they're
Interesting.
cool, and we actually
Yeah, they're not bad.
we got to see probably one of the best baseball plays I've ever witnessed in my entire life.
Okay.
There was I don't know, it was a pitch that was hit directly back at the pitcher's mouth, like it was heading right for his mouth.
Okay.
Somehow stuck his glove up and caught it, and
I
almost
think I
did like
saw
a
this.
backflip. Like he caught it and like flew back, and then he
Yeah.
like jumped up and like
Oh,
almost
Matt
fell
Boyd
down.
snags a comebacker. Yeah, here we go. I found it.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa was at this game too, I see.
That was the first time Sammy Sosa's been back in like 20 years. They
Wow.
said,
You guys saw a lot of home runs too. 6 combined home runs.
yeah, it was
2
it
by
was
Cal
like
Raleigh. Yeah, wow.
it was insane. I mean, it was and it was
1 in-
well
2 in the first inning.
attended.
Jeez.
It was well attended for a
Wow, that-
Friday afternoon game.
That
I mean,
grab was
I think-
sick by that pitcher. Holy cow.
Right? That was
That's wild.
crazy town. Like I thought, oh, this guy's dead now. He just got hit in
Yeah.
the face. But I mean, and
That's
they showed
crazy.
they had a camera on his parents who were there, and
Oh,
see
I
if you
think
can
I'm
find
seeing
the
that
shot
here.
of
Yeah, yep.
of his parents where his dad
Yeah.
is like, yeah,
That's crazy.
you know, he's freaking out.
104.5 on the way back to him. Holy cow.
Yeah,
That is a
it
well-hit
was.
baseball.
I mean, yeah, it was. He absolutely smacked the heck out of it.
yeah,
So
that's crazy.
It was cool though. I mean, I do have to admit it was a cool game to go to with the
Yeah.
blue with the alternate jerseys with
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa being there. It was just a lot of things happening. We got to see the beer snake in the bleachers.
Oh, yes, the iconic beer snake. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
Yes.
a lot of fun, and that kind of kicked off my week of adventures.
Yeah.
This week we had the annual family trip up to Michigan. We go to a little town called St. Joe in Michigan. Very nice town. And we stay right in there and go to the beach and whatnot, which I already
Nice.
alluded to earlier. But we had kind of a funny incident on the way there. And you know it's funny because I'm saying it's funny, so you can prepare yourself to laugh.
Oh, gosh.
Um,
Okay.
we were driving to St. Joe, and we take the Borman Expressway from the southwest side of Chicago,
Okay.
which is one of the busiest expressways in the world, or in the country, not in the world. But there's a lot of trucks. That's like what it's known for. The trucks going through Indiana, like semi trucks and all sorts of trucks
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
road. And it's Nicole and I, and I was driving. Nicole was sitting in the passenger seat. And we're on the phone with my parents, who were driving separately. We were trying to figure out what was going on here.
Yeah.
And so, we're driving, and I'm in the left lane, and I'm moving and grooving. And all of a sudden, Nicole's like, "Oh, look at these pigs!" There's like a semi truck with like kind of a farm livestock mover semi truck. It's like a truck like what that horses would be in. It's got like holes in it, so you can kind of see into the truck. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like there's like vents at the top and stuff. Kind of.
Well, it kind of, yeah. That's like the horse one, but this one had like more vents in it, so you could kind of see the pigs in this truck. There was pigs
Oh,
in
I
this
see.
truck,
Okay. I got you. I think I follow.
right? And
Yep.
I'm on the phone with my parents, and Nicole's like, "Oh, look at how cute
look at these
pigs
pigs."
are." Yeah, and we're talking about the pigs, and we're looking at the pigs. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of nice."
And then you smelled the pigs.
Well, no, I mean we're looking, and again, I'm in the left lane, so I'm kind of moving, and so we're kind of passing by the pigs,
Yeah, moving and
and
grooving.
we get up to
Shake and bake.
the cab of
Yeah?
the truck.
Can I
Yes,
guess
the
what
cab
happens
of the
next?
truck. Yes.
There's a pig driving the truck.
No.
Oh,
That would
okay.
be good. No, there was not a pig driving the truck, but there's a sign on the driver's side door.
Okay.
The driver's side door of the truck that says "Future Pork" on it.
Oh gosh.
And Nicole just about had a heart attack based on this sign. This was the greatest, the greatest moment, like realization moment I've ever
Yeah.
been a witness to. 'Cause
That's
she's
hilarious.
all zoned into the pigs.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you see "Future Pork," and Nicole's like, "What? What? What?"
Oh my gosh. That's
And
incredible.
it was like it was something out of a movie. I literally almost had to pull over because I was laughing so hard. It was like
oh my
insanity.
gosh. Incredible.
And
Yeah, that's funny.
Boys and girls, that's where your bacon comes from the Future Pork
Yeah.
pig sign. But there was a phone number on the door. Nicole almost called the phone number just to voice a complaint to this company. So Future Pork, maybe you should cover up the vents so you can't see what's in the truck, so you don't upset Nicole next time it's on the road. So
Incredible.
but that's not even that we saw that on the way there. On the way home, we just came home today on the day that we're recording. A car
Oh gosh.
started on fire
No shot.
right next to us
No.
on the road. I have a video of it. Because
Okay.
as soon as it lit up,
Do you have it on your
smoke-
computer?
I haven't. No, I don't.
Ah,
I'm going to
darn it.
post it. We're going to post
Okay.
it on when we post this episode on.
Can you send it to me
TikTok,
right now so I can
Instagram.
watch it and react to it
Yes.
live? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good call.
It was as soon as it started
That's
smoking, I
wild.
busted out the phone.
Yeah.
And I started videoing because it was impressive that it
That
was
is wild.
yes.
That really is
And
wild.
there was also a sign that said in 587 miles there's a Buc-ee's, and so it said good
okay.
things.
Yeah.
Good,
That's a good.
good
yeah.
things come to those that wait. So
Yeah.
another quality sign right there. So I just sent it to you.
Take
I
a look
believe
at
it
this.
says
Okay.
delivered.
It does. Yep. I'm watching it now. Oh,
So
it's a Jeep,
I
of
just
course.
caught the end of when it pulled over.
Oh my gosh.
So, but then we drove past it, and
You made
I was
Nicole
videoing
drive to
Nicole.
Michigan?
She was driving home because I had taken some family
Okay.
photos that I was working on the way home because my
Got
cousin
it.
really wanted to post them.
What's it like when you drive Nicole's car? Just for
Well, she used to have a Volkswagen Beetle, and so
No
when I drove
shot.
that, I looked like a clown driving
She
a
went
car.
from a Beetle to a Hyundai
to
Kona.
a
Is that what she
Hyundai
has?
Kona. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
How did you know that she had a Hyundai Kona?
I'm good with cars.
Okay. No, I
You
don't
have a Hyundai
believe
Accord.
that. Yes, good job, Reed.
Name someone that we both know, and I'll tell you what car they drive.
Tony DeNardis.
Tony didn't notice? Oh, he has a Chrysler 300. Or he used to, last I knew.
Yes, he still
Because I'd always give him crap about the Chrysler 300.
with his cooled cup holders. Yeah. Shout out Tony,
I
dude.
forgot about that. Yeah.
Dude, he's quality. What about another friend, Cody, friend of the podcast, Cody?
Oh, Cody drives the Prius. Yeah, like a circa 2006 Prius. Yeah, drives it very slowly as well.
Shout out Cody. If you haven't seen the episode with Cody, the other guest that we had that day was Rick.
Patrick?
What does Rick drive? Yeah.
Patrick drives what? It's like an old Ford Focus or like some old.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
It's some old. Oh no, it's like an old Corolla, right?
Yeah.
It's some really old 200,000 miles small economy car. Yeah, they're all the same.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all the same except the logo, my friend.
That's true.
They're
It's
all
a
the
Toyota,
same.
so that'll run forever. All right, I got that second try. But most people I know what car they drive. That's like something I pick up on for some reason.
Yes, and to meet these people, go listen to episode 44 of the Basement Birds.
Yeah, wow. Did you know that number off the top of your head?
In my basement, and I do not. I just looked at it on the computer.
That was a good episode. That was a very good
That
episode.
was a great
I liked
episode.
that one a lot.
We're up. This is episode 67 already. Holy Toledo!
Holy cow!
Holy
Wow.
cow!
You know what it
Holy
also
cow.
is, Logan?
What's that?
We can talk about this next week, actually. This is we'll talk about this more next week. This is the last episode in this apartment for me. Yeah.
What? What are you
Cliffhanger.
talking about?
Cliffhanger.
Dun,
Dun,
Tune
dun,
in to episode
dun.
68 of the Basement Bird Show
behind me that I'm packing.
next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, see all my stuff? I'm not even packing. I'm just a slob.
No, I wanted to match the background, so I just removed everything from my bookshelf and closet and put it behind me to match Logan.
Well, hopefully no one's watching and knows all of the possessions you have, and then they'll steal them.
I mean, that's just a stack of hats right there, and
Okay. And some patio
an empty
furniture out
box.
on your patio there.
the patio furniture is getting picked up tomorrow. That's not mine.
Oh,
That's from a former coworker who moved, who couldn't take it with them, and I was fostering it. And the new place I'm moving to also doesn't have a patio, so their fiance's parents are coming to pick it up tomorrow. Yes.
Okay.
Long story about that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's time for some more long stories with some
Odd news.
news.
Yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
Can I go
we
first?
should use AI and make a theme song for Odd
Oh,
News.
okay. Can I go
I'll
first?
work on that. Yes.
Okay. So you're a big fan of Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not. I think it's overrated, but that's a story for another time.
What?
I don't know if it's overrated, but I always go in with such high hopes for B-dubs, being like, oh man, I'm gonna have some good chicken wings, and I always leave being like, those chicken wings are all right,
I think I have a picture of you
It never
and me
lives up
at
to my
B-dubs.
expectations. Yeah,
Did you know
probably.
that?
That time that you, me, and what did Cody or Rick come
I
along?
think Carl did too.
And then you're like, I'm
and
so
all the
hungry, and then you ordered 2 dozen wings and ate like 6 of them.
Yeah. Well, I was too busy snacking on fries, but yeah. Anyway,
Leftovers.
continue.
My favorite part about that B-dubs is that you were so hungry that we got there, we sat down, the waitress came over, asked for drinks, and before any of us can put our drink order in, you go, I think we're ready for food. And everyone looks at each other besides you, and like, we are not ready for food, but I guess we're ordering food because Logan wants food.
I've
That's the
been
one
kind of
thing I
known.
remember from that.
I've been kind of known to do that every time. Ask Tony about that sometime. Next time you see Tony, be like, Tony.
It was
I'm like,
hilarious,
it's like
though.
someone who goes to McDonald's and doesn't know what they're going to order. I go to B-dubs with Tony almost every week on Thursdays. They got BOGO of Thursdays.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
yeah.
He never knows what he wants to get. I'm like,
Yeah.
will you not think? I've been thinking about this for the past week. I don't know. You don't even think about it until you sit down. What I don't understand.
incredible.
But anyway,
So
I
my
digress.
story takes us to a B-dubs. A B-dubs in Iowa, and there was a loose chicken. I just ruined the story. I wanted to ask you what animal you thought it was. There was a loose chicken that
you can
appeared
cut it out if
at
you want.
B-dubs. No, that's okay. That's okay. It won't hit the same. This B-dubs had a live chicken as a visitor, which is hilarious for obvious reasons. And this is a great caption from the people that posted. What the cluck? Talk about a chicken on the wrong side of the road.
Oh God, that's a top tier. That's a Chat GPT caption.
They said that
there.
this poor confused hen was collected by animal services. And they said that it's not available for adoption, but they have many other chickens. And I think the irony and the joke of a chicken being at a Buffalo Wild Wings is hilarious to me, because this guy was probably just trying to, find, I don't know, maybe he's looking for a friend, and he's finding unfortunate news that, his friend has been turned into tasty, juicy, savory, saucy chicken wings.
Yeah.
But I find it hilarious.
What part of the chicken does the wing come from?
The wing part.
Well, I mean, boneless wings. What's up with that? Like, are they just pressed into bone?
Did you really
form,
just
or
ask what part of the chicken a wing comes from?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the ones that are like legs are legs. They're not necessarily wings, but you still call them chicken wings.
What are you talking about?
Well, there's different types of chicken wings.
Chicken wings come from the wing.
No. I mean, some
are you
of them
talking
probably
like
do.
flats versus drumsticks?
Yes.
Yeah, those are both from the wing, I'm pretty sure.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
From the wing. A chicken's wing does not look like that.
Well, yeah, because it's prepared to be eaten.
No, okay, well, maybe, now that I'm looking at this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the flat
first of all, never
Here we
look up
go.
a picture of an uncooked chicken wing, because that looks absolutely disgusting.
The drumstick comes from so if we're using a human arm as an example, okay? So this your forearm, right? Your upper arm.
That is your tricep. Your forearm is down
biceps.
here, my friend.
Sorry, I don't know biology.
Oh my
very well.
gosh, dude!
Okay.
What?
Your upper arm, your not forearm, your upper arm would be the drumstick, because like the big meat up here is like the chicken's shoulder, I think, and then the flat would be your forearm, okay, and then there's a tip from the wing, which would be like the hand, but chickens don't have hands, so there's a good graphic I found that explains where it comes from.
See, I mean, you can understand the
chicken
confusion.
Wings, though, are chicken breasts.
Aha! See? Aha! Aha! See? I'm not crazy.
Yeah, but you
I'm
asked
not crazy.
about bone-in wings on where flats came from.
No, falso.
They come from the chicken, Logan.
I asked about wings in general.
Yeah. And one could
I asked
assume
about
that it was...
in general.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, but that is surprising that there was a live chicken. I know that sometimes the old adage is sometimes when they're taking a long time, be like, what are they doing? They have to kill the chickens in the back? I mean,
yeah,
so
right?
maybe the people in there were like,
they ran out.
Actually do it. They
Yeah.
actually do it. They ran out.
They ran out.
They had to go get a chickie.
They had to go get the chickie.
A chickie
oh,
poo.
Lord. The chickie poo.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Not what I was expecting out of that story, a discussion about chicken wings, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. This is Learning with Logan on,
Is
the
it?
Basement Bird Show. I'm learning things. So my story is also about a critter who got placed in a precarious position while a kitten was rescued from an engine compartment of a car. So animal control officers in California responded to an Office Max. There's no Office Maxes left. An Office Max parking lot to rescue a kitten hiding in the engine compartment of a car.
Oh gosh.
My immediate thought is, how did someone discover this kitten in the car? Like,
yeah, what?
are you doing a 10-point inspection of your vehicle before
you hear
driving
it?
every time, or what's going on here?
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
Do you not?
To answer my own question, that's not the kind of purr you want to hear under your vehicle's hood, the post said.
Ha ha ha.
Okay. Well, the reason I wanted to talk about this was because Nicole had a raccoon living under her hood of her car when she lived at the apartment complex. So what had happened was
A raccoon?
she discovered So when you open your hood, her car has a bunch of insulation on the bottom of the hood. All of it was eaten off. Like it was very clearly eaten by some sort of rodent, animal, something.
Yeah.
So one day she gets in the car and she starts driving, and she hears all this noise coming out of the engine. Like I don't even know what kind of noise it was. It was some sort of noise, and she recognized, you know what, something's not sounding right. So she stops the car, turns it off, not even out of the parking lot yet, and she said a raccoon the size of a basketball came out of the car, out of the hood of the car, scampered away.
The fact that she used basketball.
Well, she did the visual demonstration.
Hilarious.
Since this is an audio only medium, I attributed the basketball size, but it was quite a hefty boy, if you know what I mean. It was a it was quite Mr. Chonkers over here. Okay,
that sounds like a Matt Berry line from one of his shows. It was quite a hefty boy.
It was quite a hefty boy, and no raccoons were harmed in the making of that bit.
That's good.
Since
The hefty boy was not harmed.
The hefty boy was not harmed in the making of that bit, but she got some sort of like cat device or something that attached to her battery that had some sort of supposed motion sensor that would blare a horn and like flash lights if it sensed motion while the car was off. It did not work.
What the heck? Yeah, no, I can't say what I want to say, but no kidding.
Well, that was an interesting choice, but
how much did she pay for this witch hazel of a solution for this?
I don't know the details. I just know that it did not work, and but since moving from because the apartment complex that she lived in had like a field with some tall grass right next to it, and then there was kind of like some trees and forestry behind that, so it was very like a wooded area, Okay,
and so I see. Sure.
Plenty of places
for
animals.
Yeah.
Right. And so she would occasionally, fruit that had gone rotten, she would use her lacrosse stick to fling it into the field to feed the animals.
Smart.
Yes. And
that's
so,
smart.
You know why she used that? Because it was a fulcrum. Use her arm as a fulcrum. Here's an interesting fact for you.
Why are you giving me a science lesson here,
Here's
Logan?
an interesting fact for you. So a long time ago when they used to fight with spears, they had like a little stick with like a little piece of leather on it. They would use to fling the spear. That's called an atlatl. It's called an atlatl. It's a little device that you use to extend the lever of your arm, and it makes you throw the spear with much more accuracy and distance.
Sure. Okay.
Look it up.
I see.
Look it up.
Yes,
atlatl.
I see it. Can we talk about the way that atlatl is spelled? Do you know how atlatl is spelled? ATLATL?
Yes. A spear throwing device. Atlatl. It's a spear throwing device that.
Where they got the word Atlanta from?
Maybe. I have no idea.
That has to come from some old language, right?
I have no idea.
No, it's from like the Aztec language. That explains it. What an interesting spelling, though. It's literally just the same three letters twice. That's interesting.
ATL.
You don't see many words like that too often.
No, but you know what else you don't see?
What?
Too much of us. You could see more of us on our social media platforms. At TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify.
Yeah. We've been posting some great clips recently.
Well, some of them have been better than others.
Logan's
but
been
there
killing
is a
on
lot
the
of
social
lot of good stuff. So
yeah,
I've been pretty proud with how we've been doing. We've had a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
So be sure to check that out again on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Spotify. That's where all of our stuff gets posted. Full episodes posted to YouTube and Spotify weekly.
Mm-hmm.
And we're rock and rolling, man. We're on episode 67? Did I say?
67. Yeah.
We're approaching 100. We gotta plan something for episode 100.
Yeah, that'll be. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, the exciting thing though is that next week the episode will be in a new location for me, assuming that
I
it is
know.
set up in time.
You said that, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll
Yeah,
have
I am
to
too.
put
I
a
don't
pin
really
in
know what it's
that,
gonna look like. Yeah.
and we'll have to, set up a set. We'll do a MTV Cribs
Sure.
style
Sure,
podcast
something like that.
episode. You
Something like
gotta
that.
you gotta get a really long cable for your camera and just carry your camera around,
Oh
and a really
gosh.
long mic cable.
Oh gosh, that's a lot of that's difficult, but
That's a lot of cables. I know.
yeah, that is a lot of
Well,
cables.
actually,
Yeah.
you could use them. Well, we could talk about it, but anyway, uh, stay tuned for episode 68. It'll be a humdinger of an
Yeah.
episode,
Yep.
and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening.
See ya.